Good morning, curling fans. We are back at the 15th International Wheelchair Curling Tournament here in Curling Club Vetsikon. My name's Lorna Rettig, and I will be hosting us again today. We have 2 rounds today. It's 10 o'clock here in Europe. We have another round coming up at 2 o'clock. And we have the home team. It's Team Switzerland. And they are playing Team Korea in our featured game here at Curling Club Vetsikon. We'll be saying hello to the teams in just a minute. The Swiss team wearing red uniforms, throwing yellow stones, and Team Korea wearing white uniforms, throwing blue stones. We had a look at Team Korea yesterday, and they were looking pretty good. This will be a good workout for Team Switzerland. Slightly new lineup for the Swiss since Paralympic last year. The Korean team, they're ranked 4 in the world. Swiss team ranked 11 in the world. If we go by the world rankings, we would expect the Koreans to maybe dominate this game, but one of the team from Switzerland, this is his home ice rink. He will know this ice very well. And as we said, a slightly new constellation for the Swiss team. I think we can expect a good game this morning. But fresh ice this morning. It's maybe still running a little bit more slowly just in this first end, just until the pebble comes off. The pebble, that's just the little tiny water bumps frozen onto the ice. If you didn't have any pebble, the stone wouldn't really go anywhere. But quiet start so far.
13-3. 13-4.
That's more like it. Is that stone just going to find a little place at the back of the forefoot? Oh, back 8 foot. Okay, that gives Korea a bit of a target. It is the Koreans who have last stone in this first end. But as we've seen in the past couple of draws, quite often a fairly conservative start in the first end. Both teams just getting used to the ice conditions. How fast the ice is running, what's the curl doing. It won't have changed too much from yesterday. But we've seen how much just a small change can switch things up a bit. So yeah, both teams will be getting used to this ice, getting used to the conditions. No trouble there for the Swiss. I shall tell you who else is out on the ice this morning. Over on sheet 1, we have an all-Swiss affair. It is the team from Curling Club Bern-Fribourg, and they are playing the team from Curling Club Geneva. On sheet 2, we have the team from Estonia, who we watched yesterday. And they are playing another team that we saw yesterday, another Swiss team from Curling Club Oberwallis. On sheet 4, next to our featured game, we have Poland, and they are playing the team from this very club here, the team from Curling Club Vetsikon. On sheet 5, we have Team Slovakia, currently top of the table, and they are playing Team Canada, who are hot on their heels. So that's the top of the table clash over on sheet 5. And finally on sheet 6, we have Sweden, who we saw putting in real strong performance yesterday, and they are taking on another giant of wheelchair curling, and that's Team Italy. So plenty of close games I'm expecting this morning. We're playing the Schenkel system. That's a word you will know if you grew up in Scottish curling or if you're familiar with Scottish curling. Not always familiar for our North American colleagues. What that means is we have 12 teams here on our 6 sheets of ice, and after every round, we rank all 12 teams 1 to 12. Oh, that's an early mistake there from the Swiss. I'm sure we shall see Korea capitalise on that. This is the 3rd round, and after every round, all 12 teams are ranked 1 to 12 based on games won, then ends won, and then points won or shots won. And that just results in interesting games. It means, first of all, we always play 8 ends, because the number of ends that you win is important to your overall scorecard. So it's not just about winning and losing. Even if you're not having a very happy game, you do have to play 8 ends. And also, yeah, it can mean that you're in a bit of a tight situation in the table. Typically, you'll end up with a handful of teams on 2 wins or 3 wins, and then the ends become all important. So you see some different tactics compared with a straight win or loss game. That's how we're playing it. So yeah, we've had 2 rounds yesterday. The teams have been ranked 1 to 12, and then 1 plays 2, 3 plays 4, etc. So if you keep winning, you stay towards the top of the table. And that was a let-off for the Swiss, but then didn't quite make the adjustment. And Korea, they're going to have another chance to capitalise on some early mistakes.
얘도 세 보인다.
He also had a bit of a practice throw with his first shot. Is this one going to put its brakes on? This looks better. He just has to hang on somewhere. It does. And now Switzerland looking at 2 blue stones. So the Swiss putting pressure on themselves really in this end, with a couple of early misses there. And we saw how strong Korea were yesterday once they were a couple of points ahead. Very strong at just keeping things simple, doing the easy things really well. Switzerland will not want to let that happen. They really want to tidy up this end. So first off, 4 thrower stones for Switzerland. You can see our yellow jacketed volunteers. That's not the same as those scary yellow jackets. Is that a TV series? No, our volunteers are very friendly. Let's have a look at that one again. It just catches enough of that blue stone. Did it the difficult way, but that blue stone leaving the house. Korea, though, still that blue hanging on the left of our screen. If they can just put that shot back that the Swiss just removed. Again, he really just has to find the paint, as we would say in Scotland. He just wants a second stone in here, try to make sure that a double takeout would be difficult, and the shot stone at the moment, the blue that's already there, it's pretty far away from the centre. So anywhere far away from the centre, he'll get good separation there. You can see how far apart these two blue stones are. Very difficult to get a double takeout on those. May as well try. But a tough shot coming up here for the last stone for Switzerland in this first end. He absolutely needs to remove one of these blues. He will gladly take the fancy across the house double. But yeah, first things first, let's make sure we're losing one of them. Last stone for Switzerland in our featured game at the 15th International Wheelchair Curling Competition in Curling Club Wetzikon. He's certainly got one of them, but yeah, no double takeout. But not too bad there. Let's just see that again. Again, just catches enough of that blue to squirt it out the back of the house. So good damage limitation there with the last stones from Switzerland, just making sure that Korea can't score more than 2. The stone just needs to find the paint, find a place in the house. This looks pretty nice. Yeah, good stuff from Korea. And 2 blues, it is straight on the scoreboard. There you can see our friendly Yellow Jackets volunteers there. They are with us all weekend. Folks from Wetzikon Club here, from the local community as well. Say a big thank you to our volunteers giving up their time. You can see Sandy there, she's holding a green cloth. So the main job of the volunteers, as you can see, they're pretty much managing the stones. So they bring the stones up towards play. They clean the stone and then place the stone in front of the player, more or less. Obviously the player does the final adjustments, but the volunteers are really here to just keep the game going. We've got 6 games going on all at once, so there can be a lot of stones flying around. So big thank you to our volunteers. There we are. You're going to get a nice shot of there. Sandy's just cleaning the bottom of the stone there. Make sure there aren't any little pieces of fluff or little specks underneath. Just like you do if you're a foot curler. But obviously just things take just a few seconds longer if you're a wheelchair user. So this just keeps the game moving along. Confirmation of the score there on your screen. That was a nice strong opening for Korea. A score of 2 in the first end. So in our featured game here in Curling Club Wetzikon, it's Korea 2, Switzerland 0 after 1 end.
Ich habe 12,
Okay.
8.
If you're just joining us, maybe you're having breakfast while you're watching curling this morning. Welcome, welcome. We're in the second end of our featured game. We are at the 15th edition of the International Wheelchair Curling Tournament here in Curling Club Wetzikon. As usual, we have a star-studded lineup. We are watching the team ranked 4th in the world, that's Korea, versus its Team Switzerland. They are currently ranked 11 in the world. And it was, as we would expect, a nice strong start for Korea, and we had a good look at Korea yesterday in their opening game, and they really were strong. So yeah, the Swiss team, they will want to really bounce back here in the second end. So that was a steady start from Trix at lead. We shall say hello to the teams in just a second. We saw what good front runners Korea were yesterday, though. Really just closing down opportunities. It was a club team from Switzerland. We have the 4 of the top 5 Swiss teams from the latest wheelchair Swiss Curling Championship, and Team Korea opened their campaign against one of those teams, and we saw how good they were at front running, this Korean team. Just really keeping things tidy, not giving the opposition much room to start building an end. So this is a steady start from Swiss. But at some point, we really want to see those yellow stones starting to ask more questions of the Koreans. The Koreans really good at doing the simple things well. And that's maybe a half shot from Korea. They would rather have stuck around with that blue, and there's a nice view. That's what Marcel will see from the throwing end. There is that one guard still in play, but this maybe looks like a more of a strange idea to play away from that centre guard. But there is sound tactics behind this. If Switzerland want to score 2 points, then really what they're trying to do at the moment is set up the second point, and easiest is if that second point is far away from the centre, and then with your final stone, that's when you want the centre clear. So we'll see Switzerland playing away from the centre, and that keeps Korea away from the centre as well. Korea would be quite happy to junk up the centre with a whole bunch of blues. And that's why we see Swiss playing away from there instead. And it can be just a little bit more difficult to get the correct line, the correct angle, if you're going for takeout towards the edge of the sheets rather than the centre. But as we saw yesterday, no problem for the Korean thrower there.
This.
Switzerland doing the right thing, though. We're only in end 2. They would be happy to pick up 2 points here, but important is to start getting into the rhythm of this game, start building your confidence, getting good shots, and yeah, 4 out of 4 so far for Switzerland. So nice strong play. Remember, you can find all of the information you need for this tournament on the tournament website. That's IWCT.ch for International Wheelchair Curling Tournament, IWCT.ch. The website's in German and in English. You'll find all the scores from previous rounds. You'll find all the information about the draw times. And Korea doing just enough at the moment to stay ahead of Switzerland in this end. Switzerland not being able to really hide any stones. Not quite being allowed to build an end here. But it's only the second end. And we've seen nice steady play from Switzerland so far. We may even see Switzerland deciding to blank this end later. Just deliberately score 0. and then use that nice solid play in the second end, try and build something in a third end. Let's see. Ooh, and that yellow just slipping through though. And now we will see the effect that has. We shall see why it was that Switzerland were playing away from the centre. But that yellow slipping through, Korea don't need to do anything about that yellow. It's already slipped out the rings in the back there. And now you can see Korea put the brush down. And now they're going to play towards the centre. So this is what Switzerland were trying to avoid. Blues in the centre makes their life more difficult. That's why they were staying away from there.
웨이트도 안 나온다.
Well, that one coming up a wee bit short. As we said in the early ends, particularly in the morning, sometimes the ice can just be that little bit colder, a little bit more frostier on top. So sometimes in a first thing in the morning game, your stones just need a little bit more beans behind them, but that's a bit of a let-off for Switzerland. So it will be a second chance to play away from the centre.
Encore vite, hein.
And this looks better. He does have that stone at the back, but nope, doesn't even need it. That's much better. There's a nice view. You can see not so easy actually to remove that yellow. There's a yellow right behind it. If Korea get the angle wrong here, they may end up just squirting that yellow straight back onto the other yellow, and all of a sudden you would still have one yellow in play. Korean fourth thrower then needs to be a little bit careful here.
Ouais, l'extérieur beaucoup moins. Voilà, il cherche vraiment de choper sur le côté aussi.
No trouble chipping that yellow out of the side there. That blue will be removed. You're not allowed to bounce off the barrier and back into play. That might be rather fun if you were. So Switzerland have one more chance to try to get a mistake from Team Korea. We often say that the sort of default score for an end of curling, if you have last stone, then you have one last stone to kind of have the last word in an end. And at this level, scoring 1 point with your one last stone, relatively straightforward. Therefore, if you want to score more than 1 point, then you need a mistake from your opposition. Now then, we're down to fourth throwers here in the second end. So the time to play away from the centre has now come and gone. Switzerland only have 2 shots left. We'll now see Switzerland playing towards the centre, because this is now the best way to try to get a mistake from Korea.
Très vite. 12-8.
So this looks like a good effort. Is it going to find a spot? It is. It didn't curl as much as I thought it would, that stone, though. You can see that, yeah, they were trying to get it in behind that blue, and that stone did not want to curl. And fully open then for the Koreans. Both of these teams on 1 win and 1 loss from yesterday, in fact. Korea, they were playing Slovakia yesterday. As we said, it's Slovakia and Canada who are currently top of the table. They are playing each other over on sheet 5. And again, lovely tidy stone from Korea, but still wide open for Switzerland. We may see Switzerland hit and stick for 1 point, just to steady the ship, get themselves on the board, or we may see Switzerland want to blank this in, so deliberately take no points, hold on to that important last stone for the third end. Maybe try and build something there. Let's see. It was an exciting game yesterday. That was over on sheet 1. That was Slovakia playing Korea. Slovakia ranked 10 in the world, but that may give you a bit of a false impression. The Slovakian team, who are currently top of the table, they finished second in the round robin at Paralympic last year. And they are no slouches. So here, let's have a look at that again. Here comes the last stone in the second end in our featured game. And indeed, we can see that Switzerland prefer to blank that in. So that wasn't a mistake. That yellow rolling out after hitting the blue away, that's not a mistake. The idea is, okay, we shall hold on to last stone in the third end and try and use it, try to build a couple of points in the third end. Let's try that again. It was, as we said, nice steady play from the Swiss in the second end, not really doing anything wrong. But if you want to score more than 1 point with your one last stone, then you need a mistake from your opposition, and Korea not giving up many mistakes out there. We need to see the Swiss putting a bit more pressure on the Korean stones. So let's say hello to the teams. The lady on your screen throwing, Hai Jin Baek. If we have any Korean fans watching, I'm doing my best with the pronunciation. Forgive me if it's not perfect. But gosh, what a game she had yesterday, Hai Jin Baek. She barely missed a thing when we were watching them against Club Oberwallis. Lead thrower then for Korea. Second throw for Korea, Jin Ho Cha. Third thrower for Korea, Seong Nam Go. Actually, that's the fourth thrower for Korea is Seong Nam Go. And third and skip is Bong Kwang Nam.
Oh.
The lady on your screen for Switzerland, that is Trix Blauel. Second thrower for Switzerland is Marcel Bodenman. Third and skip on your screen there, that's Laurent Knoibul. And fourth thrower for Switzerland is Eric Decorvé. Hit for hit at the moment.
Encore?
Still early in the game. We were saying yesterday, it used to be maybe 7 or 8 years ago, when we were still very much developing in wheelchair curling, it used to be that you could kind of get away with this tactic. You could play the whole game in the house, just spread the stones out a little bit and kind of just sit and wait for a miss from your opposition, because wheelchair curling was still very much in its infancy and we didn't have so much experience. There weren't so many players who had played for a long time, but you don't really get away with that anymore. But this looks like a lovely throw from Trix though. she'll be happy with that. Just watching that all the way. And actually that yellow has landed so nicely just off screen. So that really changes up the angle, makes it, as we said, can be a little bit more difficult removing stones on the edges of the sheet rather than that nice straight path up the center. But not for Korea. Nothing wrong with Switzerland doing this though. Let's just have a bit of target practice. Make sure we've got draw weight. So if you're drawing a stone into the house, make sure you've got that nice weight consistent. We're still early enough in the game that Switzerland doesn't need to go flat out aggressive yet. We play 8 ends here in wheelchair curling. And teams have 2 hours and 15 minutes for a game. As we said, that's just reflective of, it just takes a few seconds longer to get yourself into position to play, move aside for the next player, etc. All of these things just take a few seconds longer if you're wheelie user. So we have 2 hours 15 for a wheelchair game rather than normally it's 2 hours for a foot player game. So this is second thrower Jin Ho Cha. And I think they were aiming for that more in the house. I think they wanted that more towards the rings. So that's now a guard that Switzerland can potentially use. It's a more aggressive approach than we saw in the last end. In this situation in end 2, in the previous end, we saw the Swiss throwing these stones away from the center line. And there's no right or wrong. It depends a little bit what stage you are in the game, what the score is like, and so on. And this simply just a slightly more aggressive approach. But what a fine shot from Marcel Bodenmann there. Doesn't that look nice? And that aggressive tactic paying off for Switzerland. They've tucked a yellow stone right in behind that guard that I think had fallen short for Korea. I think they wanted that stone in the house. And looks like Switzerland have decided they don't want a blank end anymore. They're going to aim to keep stones in play. And this potentially more likely to get a mistake from Korea. Remember, we said if you want to score more than 1 point when you have your one last stone, then you need a mistake from your opposition. I think technically I would say that was a mistake, but it has found a pretty nice spot, hasn't it?
12. Ça c'est 12, ouais, un peu plus. Encore un peu, 12. Ouais. On va essayer. Alors 11,5, 12 même.
But a similar shot required here from Switzerland. You can just nudge up against that blue. It is that blue that's closest to the middle. The blue is lying short, so Switzerland want to move it, but they don't need to throw a huge weight at this. They just need to move that blue. And important also is where this yellow ends up hanging around. Oh, there's a scoreboard volunteer. Just confirming that was a blank end, actually, in the second end there. We're looking for very similar path then. But ooh, this has found a curl right away. Oh, there's a nice result though. It did over curl slightly. Watch this. So it squeaks past the guard. It does touch the Swiss stone in front there, but manages to still get to the blue and get good separation on those yellows. So that's found a super spot there. Really nice stuff from Laurent Knoibel. And finally, a little bit more pressure now on Korea. We have 2 Swiss stones lying, good separation. No problem removing that stone on the edge of the sheet, as we've seen Korea do many times. But what a difference this end is. Just playing that more aggressive strategy, Switzerland. Marcel Bodeman, just at the back of your screen there with the stopwatch. Sinking a lovely yellow shot right in behind that Korean guard that fell short. And what a difference with this end now. We had 2 Swiss stones lying, and there's still one of them there. So this is the chance that Switzerland want. Confirmation there of the score on the bottom of your screen. That was a blank end for Switzerland in the second end. Oh, that's a mistake though from Laurent. He's not quite finding the right line with these takeouts away from the centre, and I wonder if that's going to cost the Swiss team. They were set up very nicely there. This is the risk with a more aggressive approach. It's higher risk, higher reward. But if you make a mistake, then you can be facing a trickier shot. Can Korea capitalize on that mistake from Switzerland? Oh, I think you're going to be lucky, Switzerland. That looked like that stone was tight to the brush all the way, although again, gosh, the curling gods can be quite capricious, viewer. And looks like the curling gods were having a bit of a giggle with that stone. That was definitely a mistake, just running straight into the guard, but goodness me, that's found a nice place, hasn't it? Nevertheless, this is a very similar shot that Laurent played with his first throw. So first throw of this third end for Eric Decolvé, excuse me. Eric, very seasoned campaigner. He's played for a long, long time. But he's found the guard as well. Oh, that is a big miss for Switzerland. That was not the way to miss that stone. That's removed the guard that was helping them out. And now Korea has an open path to that yellow. That was not the tolerance for that shot. And with no guard in the way, no mistake from Korea that time. And Switzerland are going to be looking at 3 now. Let's see that one again. Really nice, tidy shot, and just getting a little roll. Korea line 2 then in the 4-foot. And this challenging shot for Eric, but no blank end coming this time. Has he got the right line? It did curl a little bit too much. Here we see it again. He wanted to just miss that front blue and just go straight onto the back one, and that just redirected it. And that is going to be a steal of 2 to Korea. So very different end there in that third end. We saw Switzerland taking some more risks, which we admire. But higher risk is higher reward. And higher risk can mean you get yourself into a bit of a muddle as well. And that's what ended up happening there with Switzerland. A couple of costly misses there. And here in our featured game, where we're watching Korea play Switzerland at the 15th International Wheelchair Curling Tournament at Club Edzicon after 3 ends. Score confirmed there on the screen as well. It is Korea leading Switzerland 4-0 after 3 ends.
이거 나갈 수도 있겠는데?
We're approaching the halfway stage then in our featured game here in Edzicon. And from here, I think we will see the Swiss. They will need to start being a bit more aggressive. They went for that aggressive tactic in the third end, which is good, but yeah, you need to follow it up though. They had chances in that third end to lie a couple of shots, but a couple of costly misses.
12 Sachs.
And a bit of a miss there from Trix. She's had a strong game so far, but too much beans on that one. Both of these teams on 1 win and 1 loss from yesterday. Team Switzerland, they lost their first game to the team from Curling Club Bern. But all of these Swiss players in Team Switzerland and from the club teams, they all know each other very well. And as we would expect, that was a really close game. But yeah, it was the Bern team ran out winners 3 points to 2 in the first round yesterday. Well, Switzerland bouncing back with a win over, big win over the team from Geneva Club. I'm sure then Team Switzerland, they'll be delighted to play people who are not in fact Swiss here at this international curling tournament. But they're going to have to find a bit more consistency, Switzerland. This is what we saw from Korea yesterday. The club from Oberwallis, they were playing nice shots, but the Koreans really were stringing 8 out of 8 good shots together. But this is better from Trix. She's made a really nice adjustment on her first zone. That's lovely from her. See how nice that shot is. It's not quite in behind the guard, but you can see that blue stone that ran on a little bit too far. That's waiting to maybe catch a yellow stone on the way past. that blue stone dangerous for Korea. Let's see, just like that. So again, this is a chance now for Switzerland. That was lovely stone placement from Trix with her second throw there. They did catch Korea out just as they were hoping to. And now, Marcel, you need to capitalise on that mistake or that half shot there from Korea. Korea yesterday, we watched them in their first game, and that was a real strong performance. They overcame the Swiss team from Oberwallis Club 7-1. Oh, Marcel's done exactly the same, just catching the wrong angle. So, as you were, a familiar setup there. In Korea, they met Slovakia yesterday evening. And a real tight battle there. As I said, Slovakia ranked 10 in the world at the moment, but I think that maybe underestimates them a little bit. That Slovakian team, they've really been around since the beginning of wheelchair curling. They finished second in the round robin at Paralympic last year, and it was Team Slovakia who came out top when they played Korea yesterday evening. So both of these teams on 1 win and 1 loss. It's Korea who have had a brighter start this morning. But this is good to see from Laurent. It is Switzerland with last stone. There you can see the scoreboard behind the players there. It's 4-0 to Korea. We're still in the first half of the game, but Switzerland, they don't want to let Korea get any further ahead. And this is good to see from Laurent, that calling for the aggressive stone. He could just remove those blue stones.
14-3.
You see that blue just at the front of our screen there. You could remove those, not leave the blues hanging around. But yes, Switzerland need to start scoring, and that is a lovely throw. Big smile from Trix, congratulations. High fives to Marcel Bodenman. Right, this is roughly where we were in end 3. And then we had a couple of costly misses, so let's tighten that up, Switzerland. But what a great shot from Marcel. He could hardly have gone up there and just placed it directly any better. Marcel giving himself a chocolate as a reward, quite right. This is Marcel's home club here in Club Etsicon. A very familiar figure here. And that blue is not going to find the yellow.
Encore. Encore.
So come on, Laurent.
Ouais. Ouais. Ou devant.
Laurent getting everything tactically very nice this morning, but he's had a couple of misses. So let's settle that confidence, Laurent, and let's get a second shot in behind that guard. But yeah, Marcel in the background there. This is his home club here in Etsicon. He's played for Switzerland many times. He and Trix have represented Switzerland also at the mixed doubles event. So the two of them, very seasoned campaigners. And as we were saying yesterday, if you're a wheelchair user, or maybe you have a friend or a colleague and they would like to try curling, there certainly are wheelchair curling clubs, specific wheelchair curling clubs, but you don't even need to find such a club. Not unusual at all if we need a player for the club championship, if somebody can't make it that week. Not unusual at all to just give Marcel a call and ask if he can come play. And at the club level, perfectly normal for everyone to play together. So yeah, if you're a wheelie user or you have a friend who would like to try curling, you absolutely can. The sticks that you see the players using, these guys, they do have their own delivery stick. But you don't need that. The club will have one. You don't need any adjustment to your chair, as you can see. Some of these folks, they do. They have a little handle there for a little bit balance and stability, but you don't need any adjustment to your regular chair. And the club will have a stick for delivery. And yeah, it's perfectly usual for wheelie players and foot players to all play in the same competition at the club. So don't be put off. If you would like to try curling, you absolutely can. Just get in touch with your club and they will be delighted to help. Oh. Okay, Switzerland, the curling gods are on your side now this week, this end. Make the most of it. Yes. That's getting better from Laurent. You can see his first stone there. The weight was good, but it just didn't quite get around the guard, so it ended up just touching the guard and redirecting across. So same weight, please, from Laurent. And we'll just tighten up a little bit with the line. So Laurent can really put his team in a strong position in this fourth end. Has he got it around the guard this time? Oh, not quite. Same thing. You could see that the weight was really nice there, but that's found a decent spot though. I think that blue at the back from our angle, this overhead's really helpful. So I think, yeah, it's still that. The same yellow is still lying first shot. That's closest to the middle. Then it's the blue at the back. We see that's lying second shot. But that yellow just thrown by Laurent, that's lying third shot. So as long as you've got the nice weight, then that stone can find a decent place. So hopefully Switzerland can bring that stone back into play, use it a bit later. So getting better from Laurent and giving fourth thrower Eric de Corvée better chance to put up a score for Switzerland in this end. But fourth thrower Seong Nam-go, very reliable on this fourth throw for Korea. You see it more often these days. Traditionally, it was always the skip and fourth thrower were the same person. But these days, you don't always see that anymore. It's not necessarily the strategist who is the most comfortable throwing fourth stone. It's difficult throwing fourth stone because there's no room for error. And Seong Nam-go, really nice tidy throw from him. Just removing that yellow shot that was closest to the centre. Putting some pressure on Eric de Corvée. But I think he can still see it. It looked like it just hit it on the nose of the Swiss stone. So I think Eric can see all of the Korean stone. So come on, Eric. Nice tidy throw to put Team Switzerland in a good place in this fourth end. I think that will really steady the ship if Switzerland can put a couple of points on the board here in this fourth end. We're looking for very similar line with this throw as we just saw from Korea. But he's just found the guard. So he has opened it, Eric. No more guard in the way. But I think the
놓치면 점수잖아.
I think the chance to score 2 points,
아 그러니까는 상대팀 얘기하는.
vanishingly small now, but the good news is everything's open. There's no more guards out front.
열반. 열반.
But again, Switzerland, they'll be cross with themselves. They've been setting the ends up nicely, but not quite finishing off their chances. And that's also, of course, credit to Korea, who are just keeping things ticking over, just making sure that they're asking the questions of Switzerland. And indeed, Switzerland not quite finding the answers at the moment. Now, that doesn't help Korea too much, but goodness me,
9,5.
Korea lying
9,5.
1, 2, 3 blues. This needs to be good from Eric.
이게 옆에 샀어야 되거든.
11.
It is the last throw of the first half of our featured game at the International
12.
Wheelchair Curling Tournament in Club Etsicon.
Tu veux quelle vitesse? Je pense ça c'est 12.
And Eric Decorvé, big pressure on this throw. He's facing 3 Korean counters.
Je crois que c'est parfait.
He needs to get round this guard. He needs to get round the guard. He has. Oh, you could, whew, you could see Laurent breathe a sigh of relief there. And huge shot from Eric there.
11.
That's a real clutch shot there. He really needed to nail that. If that had gone against them, that would have left the Swiss with a mountain to climb. And of course, we're very good at climbing mountains here in Switzerland, but we'd rather not. So, important score of 1 there, just to steady the ship at the halfway point. So in our featured game here in Club Etsicon, after 4 ends, in our game where we're watching Korea play Switzerland, it is Korea 4, Switzerland 1.
Allez, attaque. Prenez garde. Hein. 14-5. 15. 15.
Sighs of relief all round. That was a pressure shot there from Eric Decorvé.
바퀴 많이 잡아야 될
Just
것 같아요.
squeaked around that guard by nothing at all. Really important score. So it's Korea
얘기했어요.
leading 4 points to 1.
계속 3엔드서부터 떨어지니까.
We are in the second half of our featured game. So let's go and see what's going on
15, 15 et demi.
over on the other games. On sheet 1, we have 2 Swiss teams from Club Bern Fribourg and from Club Geneva, and it is the Bernese team. They are currently leading 4 points to 0. On sheet 2, we have Team Estonia, whom we saw yesterday evening, playing the Swiss team from Club Oberwallis, whom we saw yesterday morning, and that is 2 points each after 3 ends. On sheet 4, next door, it is Poland playing the team from the club here in Etsicon, and it is Poland who are 4-0 ahead after 3 ends. On team 5, it's the top of the table clash between Slovakia and Canada, and very high scoring over there. After 3 ends, it is Canada leading 4 points to 3. And finally, on sheet 6, it is the other unbeaten team in the competition, that's Sweden. They are playing Team Italy. And again, as we thought, a real close game over there. It is 1-1 after 3 ends.
14. 14 et demi.
서울 거 몇분 나왔어요?
Confirmation there. Important score of a point to Switzerland in that 4th end.
연합도 지금 들어온 거예요?
That Switzerland need to be careful now. It's Korea then who has last stone again in this 5th end. Now we are starting to count a little bit the ends as well. When you've got 8 ends to come, you can choose to be aggressive if the opportunity comes, but you can also say, well, we'll be a bit more conservative this end. That's also fine. But as the ends start ticking over, that starts to become more urgent, and coming up a little bit short from Trix there. I think she really wanted to nudge up against that blue stone. She's had a solid game so far, Trix. And the Swiss team, they really need her to keep setting up these ends. She and Marcel having a nice stable game, setting up the chances, but Lohan and Eric not far off, but not quite finishing off those chances. And Switzerland don't want Korea to get too much further ahead here. As we said, we play 8 ends. We're now in the 5th end. Korea are plus 3 points ahead. It's 4-1. So Switzerland need to fashion at least 3 points in 4 ends, and don't really want to let Korea get too many more points on the board here, otherwise they are really making life quite difficult. As we said, we're playing the Schenkel system here. What that means is the first round is drawn in advance, and after the first round the teams are ranked 1 to 12 based on games won, ends won and shots won. After the second round, well, actually after the first round, once we've ranked 1 to 12, then the team at the top of the table, number 1, they play team ranked number 2, 3 plays 4, 5 plays 6, etc. After the second round, we do the same again. The teams are ranked 1 to 12 based on games won, ends won, shots won. So that means that no matter what, we will see 8 ends. So it encourages a team that's maybe not having a good game, but it encourages you to keep going, because even if you don't win the game, winning 2 or 3 ends, that could be important for your overall scorecard later. That system, I know, not so familiar to our North American buddies. Two of my teammates in my social team, they still tell the story of the first time they played that system when we were in a team together in a competition in Iceland, and I went stamping up, I don't even remember it, but apparently I went stamping up the ice saying, why have we stopped sweeping? And they said, because we already won the game. And they hadn't realised that there was value in winning the end as well. And they tell that story every year because they think it's terribly funny. So again, this looks like a nice setup stone from Marcel. He's really finding good weight this morning, Marcel. You can see all that mixed doubles practice. He and Trix have represented Switzerland at the, I think it was the very first wheelchair mixed doubles competition. The two of them have played together both in doubles and in traditional curling for a long time. And you can really see their mixed doubles experience showing out there. This tucking stones in behind guards, going for the centre. And that is a happy sight always. If you make your opposition hit your guards, or hit any guards, that's always a little mini confidence boost. Oh, I can hardly believe it. Every lovely shot that Switzerland can come up with. Korea then plays a lovely shot as well. But the silver lining, as you can see from this nice angle here, there's still space. That blue that we just saw from Korea, you can see that's behind the tee line, so there's space in front of that blue. If Laurent just plays real similar shot that we just saw from Marcel,
Un peu plus, je crois même.
that's all we need.
J'ai l'impression que ça curle fort.
And that will just nestle in that little space in front of the blue, and that would be a really safe shot with a blue stone behind it.
여덟 아홉 될 것 같은데?
This needs to put its brakes on a bit though. Oh, and that's just going to slip past.
네. 좀 넉넉하게.
Laurent not quite finding his weight this morning. And is he going to get another chance at this? This is getting dangerous now. It's Korea who have the last stone in the fifth end. And indeed, I think Switzerland about to find that all roads to the centre are starting to get blocked now.
Ça passe, ouais.
안 써지잖아.
Je vais aller à 12. Je pense, faut aller plus vite. À 11.
Eric thinks there is still the path through those
Mais ça passe bien.
two blues. There you go. That's a nice view there. Yeah, there definitely is still space to go through. It's looking a bit more intimidating though. You need to be very precise.
열장 고 죽이셨다고 6초에.
Same shot then being asked for. He has found that gap splendidly. Ooh, ooh, goodness. Well now. What do you think, viewer? Which one of those is closer? That was a superb throw from Laurent. Fist bump for them. Quite right, that was a real tough one, as we saw, looking quite intimidating out front now with all those guards, but he found that gap perfectly. And if nothing else, that really cuts down the scoring area for Korea. If nothing else, that was a real nice insurance shot from Switzerland there. Getting a stone deep into that 4 foot, making it much harder for Korea to make a second point. And, ooh, Korea falling foul of their own guards.
Bleu, jaune.
Not finding the gap like Switzerland had.
J'aime bien l'idée. Ou avec la dernière.
Ooh, I wish I knew which was lying. If I was betting on it, I still think it's blue actually. And could this be one of those ends where -1 for Switzerland, so 1 point to Korea?
Faut quand même qu'il la chope. Hein.
Maybe that's not too bad then. Switzerland would get last stone back.
Bien leur faire la bleu jaune à la fin.
They could go all out aggressive in the 6th end.
Tu viens pas, tu viens à 12.
아직 우리가 이번에
Ouais.
근데 우리는 아직 탭도 있잖아. 그러면 똑같이 우리도
Mets une garde devant les deux bleus. Ouais,
이거 성공한 거야?
ouais.
얼마나?
J'aime bien.
그리고 우리
By the discussion here,
그거 있죠. 그 뭐야? 가드 내 첫샷 컨셉.
I'm wondering if that tells us anything about which stone's lying. So who's lying short, who's closer to the centre.
넓게 잡으려고 해서
I think this is the right throw in either case, to be honest. I think, yeah,
수영은 될줄 알아서
even if that blue is lying, if it's Korea sitting 1 point at the moment, that's not the end of the world. Then 1 point to Korea would make the score 5-1. But then Switzerland would have last stone in the 6th end. And potentially in the 8th end as well. So a -1 for Switzerland just now is not the end of the world, but they don't want any more than that. Therefore, if they believe that it's Korea who's lying,
우리가 이기는데?
just guarding up just to make sure Korea can't get a second point, I think that's probably the sensible decision.
Un peu vite.
And that's fine. That's just
네.
moved a couple of blues to different angle,
아,
made it a bit harder to get another blue into that scoring area. You can see if you wanted to get a second blue into score,
범으로
of course, can you get anything through that gap? I think that would be, I don't think you can actually. I think, yeah, on T-weight, I think that gap is too small now. And indeed, Korea looking at,
1초요.
can we push those two blues at an angle instead?
97, 91이야. 97, 11.
조금 띄우고.
에, 11.
어.
But this is better from Switzerland, asking the questions now of Korea, forcing Korea to go for much more difficult shots. We've seen Korea doing the straightforward shots.
맞을 뿌이.
If Switzerland are going to get back into this game, this is the kind of situation they need to force. As Korea's first fourth throw in this 5th end, and oh god, it's a beauty. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, let's see that one again. Gets his angles absolutely perfect. Look at this.
Reste tout droit.
Straight onto the yellow. Doesn't need to move it very far, just pops it half a metre or so. Gosh, look at that.
Bah, ben, même plus vite, hein, je pense 11.
But those two yellows on the left of Laurent's brush as we see it, they reckon they're also at quite a nice angle to punch one of those yellows back onto the blues there. Let's see. I would love it if this one works out. Final throw for Eric de Corvée for Switzerland in the 5th end here in Wetzikon.
지나갈 수도 있겠어. 아니요, 걸려.
Oh, we would love it if this one goes. He's not far off.
안쪽이다.
Oh. Oh,
아, 우리 거도 조금.
just over curled. What a pity. Brave try from Eric. Gosh, I'm still reeling from that previous shot from Korea. What a perfect shot that was.
지금 여기를 맞춰야 돼. 이거 알아야 돼. 이것도 좀 괜찮다 보인다. 얘는 그냥 팁이니까. 똑같이 한 번 더?
어.
그대로 한 번만 더 하면 될 것 같은데.
안 나가, 안 나가, 안 나가. 아까 똑같이 잡아.
Beautiful first shot from Korean fourth thrower.
똑같으면 여기에요.
And what can he do for an encore? He's safely around the guard, but doesn't quite find the angle on that one. But gosh, he's done enough already.
좀 더 잡았었어야 됐나.
Huge score of 2 for Korea in that fifth end
여기서
after a real wonder shot from their fourth thrower, Seong Nam Go. Korea, yeah, all
여기도 파이팅.
really positive looking. And this game starting to look like a bit of an uphill battle for the Swiss. Big score of 2 with some superb play from Korea. And it is Korea leading Switzerland in our featured game after 5 ends. The score is Korea 6, Switzerland 1.
가는데? 내가 드로우 사인 보내니까 본강이 형이 가져가라고 드로우 사인 또
The lady in front of you,
드로우예요 그랬더니 가져가라고.
Hai Jin Baek. She has hardly made a mistake in this game or the last.
엄청 떨어지네.
And look at that, splitting the line again.
이거는
And from here, indeed, Switzerland have no choice but to go all out aggressive.
저거 칠수.
We've seen good set-up play from Trix and Marcel, throwing first and second, and we're going to need all of that mixed doubles experience, really finding the tee line.
노트 걸린 여기 노트 있잖아.
That's coming up short, the Trix, but better short than long.
형 이거
It's
노트.
no use through the back. And another guard, that's still a stone that Switzerland can use.
No rule in wheelchair. No, no take out.
But as we see
있어버리지 않았었어?
Korean skip Bong Kwang Nam indicating that's also a guard that Korea can use, and this lady in front of us has not been missing very much.
여기 심판장 같이 생긴 분이 노트 있다고 그랬었던 것 같은데.
Nothing we can do about that though, Switzerland. As you can see, they're 5 points behind. It is possible in ends 6, 7 and 8. It's possible to grab this game back, but they're going to have to be ruthless from here.
웨이트. 저 5초
12 et demi.
여기도 는다. 이거 계속 이거 들어오고 했어야 돼봐서.
12 et demi.
A bit of a let-off for Switzerland.
여기
So hoping Trix can make an adjustment on her first throw. That just came up a bit short, so she wants a bit more weight on this one. This looks better, but she didn't put too much handle
14, 6.
on that throw. And that means that the stone was not spinning around as much, and that means it's going to drift a little bit, and indeed it's caught a guard. So gosh, whoever can get one in behind those guards is going to be looking pretty pretty happy in this sixth end. Remember, we'll be playing 8 ends anyway because of our system of play here. And every end for Switzerland here, every end they can win from here will be important anyway, but yeah, that was the danger. As we said, whoever gets in first behind that great wall of curling stones is going to be looking pretty nice. And I'm not sure you want to... not sure about this one, normally. No, actually, my mistake. This is the best idea. It is Switzerland who has last stone. So may as well try promoting that yellow onto blue, or if nothing else, let's open a path. And that's exactly what Marcel's done.
Thank you.
어?
좀 한쪽 느낌이에요.
It's Korea, though, who have a bit of momentum in the sixth end. They were the ones to get a shot into the forefoot behind all the nice guards.
앞에 거 칠 때 앞에 거 쳐서 숨어라.
And they've put another one in there. I think a guard would have been more helpful to them, but that's far from a terrible shot. However, that does give Marcel a chance to hit and roll in behind cover. Every shot, really, pressure on every throw now for Switzerland. And as we said, no matter which way the game goes, it's always good to book as many ends as you can, and that's a super shot from Marcel. Gets rid of both of those blues. Yeah, always nice to watch a double takeout again. Here it comes in. It's a powerful player, Marcel. Remember, you're only using upper body strength in wheelchair curling. In foot player curling, almost all your strength is coming from leg drive. It's the leg drive that decides how fast or how long you're throwing the stone. But in wheelchair curling, all the power coming from upper body, and Marcel, really powerful. If you imagine throwing takeout after takeout using only upper body strength,
너무 센가?
it's a tough ask. And with no sweeping.
너무 센데.
Ouais, on essaye, hein.
Okay, so empty house again, but guards out front. Chance for Switzerland.
Ouais.
Thanks to that lovely double takeout from Marcel.
T'as senti qu'il devait pousser plus fort ou... Ok. Parce que les vitesses sont les mêmes.
We have an interesting score update for
J'ai eu
you
l'impression que c'était lent pour tout le monde là.
over on sheet 6. There are 3 unbeaten teams in the competition who won both their games yesterday. That is Slovakia and Canada, who are playing each other. And the third unbeaten team from yesterday is Team Sweden. But they are currently 5 points to 3 behind Team Italy.
La tête, elle fait de la merde. Hein.
Italy, hugely experienced, another team that has really been involved in wheelchair curling really since the beginning. Not surprising that Italy are giving the Swedes a tough run. And finally, Lohon seems to have fully adjusted, and he's got a really nice shot in behind cover there. That is exactly what Switzerland need.
가드만 안 걸리면 돼.
Ouais, mais je sais pas pourquoi je suis tout le temps sur le côté, t'as vu? Je sors tout le temps, une heure. Elle est facile, celle-là. Ça passe.
Third thrower and skip for Team Korea, Bong Kwang Nam. Oh gosh, but so accurate, this Korean team. You could see what, just about 1/3 of that stone, still managed it, but another chance for Laurent. That blue is wide open, it's not behind any cover,
내가 봤을 때 조금
and if Laurent can find the right angle, he can remove the blue, roll in behind cover, and put the pressure back on Korea. As we said, every stone now for Switzerland, big pressure.
Deuxième, hein?
This looks nice from Laurent. This is nice. Just like that. Yes, Laurent.
8,
Look at that for a shot. That is lovely.
7.
Swiss fans would love to look at that one again. Out goes the blue, catching exactly the right angle and rolling in behind all that cover. Doesn't that look nice?
Non, 13-8, quelque chose comme ça. Sans, mais j'ai entendu quelque chose comme ça.
아그 컴에 컴.
Switzerland working ever so hard to keep themselves in this game. And Korea, again, sensibly, I think, deciding, okay, our best idea here is to just ignore that yellow. Not much we can do about that. That was really a perfect throw from Laurent. And just try to put something better. Just try to outdraw it, get something closer to the centre from there. Oh, this line looks really nice. Is it going to put its brakes on?
Il faut aller la chercher.
It is, yeah. Nice throw from Korea, but that has settled behind T-line. And that means that
Comme tu veux, hein, ça.
definitely space for Switzerland to simply follow that stone.
Tu veux aller en T-line?
우리가 1.
Bah, le truc,
Just
c'est
punch
que
it back a
là,
little.
ouais.
It's really tucked in there. You can see from the nice angle there.
Je pense que c'est ça. Là, c'est T-line. Ça, c'est T-line.
There's no direct path to the blue. That yellow's right in front. But certainly there's plenty of space to curl in behind that guard, curl right onto that blue and punch it through. So big chance here for Eric. You can see where Laurent's brush is. So the more space there is between the brush and the target area, that means the slower the stone will be travelling, or to put it the other way around, the closer the brush is to the target area, the faster the stone will be travelling,
Ouvrir la garde aussi.
because it has less space to curl. The position of Laurent's brush tells us that this is not going to be a big weight from Eric. Accuracy is more important here. He's not going to throw huge weight. He needs to make sure this yellow lands in the right place, and he needs to give it a chance to curl. There's no direct path. They've had a good look at a few stones on this path. He's safely around the guard.
12.
And now it has to curl, now it has to curl, now it has to curl. Yes, Eric, that's it. Lovely shot from him. Ooh, I'm getting nervous up here in the commentary box. Nothing against Korea, obviously, but, well, also just for the sake of good curling, for an exciting finish. I think all of us would love to see a nice score for Switzerland here. So 1 stone each to come. Last shot for Korea in the 6th end is on its way. They're looking for something pretty similar that we just saw from Switzerland. We can see again, not a huge weight. They just want to nudge up to that yellow. And he does.
Tu peux encore, hein? La même!
Brave shot from Korea because, as you can see, if Eric can just play pretty similar, is there even a chance to pick up 3 points here? What a difference that would make.
그럼 이거 앞에 바로 주냐?
그래. 많이 뭐 숨겨야 돼.
거기에는 너무 좀 힘들어.
Everybody watching this throw then. Same kind of shot we're looking for from Eric. This one looks a little bit heavier. And now it has to curl, now it has to curl, now it has to curl. Has he got the blue? He has. It is a shot for 3. What a shot from Eric de Corvée. And goodness me, we said every stone, every throw from Switzerland was going to have pressure on it from here on, and haven't they risen to that pressure? 8 out of 8 shots in that end. No, 7 actually, but yeah. Great shots in that end from Switzerland. What an end, and what a difference, just that consistency, just playing a string of good shots rather than a couple of misses. What a difference, and huge shot for Eric at the end there. That was 3. That's Niels volunteering his time for the scoreboard as well as managing the stones, and what a difference that's going to make to the score. Some fine throws there from Team Switzerland, and that has really opened up this game completely. We often find that in an 8-end game, that the 6th end can be really explosive, can be really pivotal in the game, and gosh, that's bumped them straight back into this game. It is a huge score of 3 for Switzerland, and that means that in our featured game here in Club Etzikon at the International Curling Tournament, Wheelchair Curling Tournament, it is Korea 6, Switzerland 4. Phew, so everybody's heart rate back to normal. We've still got a game to play out there, but Switzerland right back into this game with a huge score of 3 in a really well worked 6th end, really taking their chances finally, finishing off that nice setup play, and that's a perfect start from Trix. They've still got a couple of points to go, Switzerland. The score is 6 points to 4. But that will have given everyone a huge confidence boost. Let's see how our other games are getting on. On sheet 1, it is Club Bern Fribourg from Switzerland 6, Club Geneva from Switzerland 0. They are still on their 5th end. On sheet 2, close game, it is Estonia 4, Club Oberwallis from Switzerland 2. They have just finished their 5th end. On sheet 4, it is Poland 7, Club Wetzikon 4. They are also in their 6th end. On sheet 5, the top of the table clash between Slovakia and Canada. It is Canada 5, Slovakia 4. And over on sheet 6, as I said, the only other unbeaten team so far in the competition is Sweden. but they are 5-3 behind to Team Italy. Their confirmation of that superb sixth end for Team Switzerland. And some superb play again from Korean lead thrower Hai Jin Baek. We're in the seventh end of 8 here in Curling Club Etsicon. You are allowed to draw a game. You get 2 points if you win a game for your overall scorecard. And that is because after 8 ends, if scores are tied, both teams get 1 point for a tied game. Because we're playing in this Schenko system, so it's your overall performance that is counting. After each round, your score is games won, then ends won, then points won. So each game can really affect every other game. It's not just a straight win or lose. Korea removing that dangerous Swiss stone right in the centre. That would have been quite simple to just push that forward, just punch it into the rings. We're in the seventh end here of our featured game. 2 ends to play, including this one. Both teams playing now everything in the house. We will not be seeing conservative play anymore in this seventh end. Switzerland were looking like this game was a huge ask for them, but what a sixth end they have, a huge score of 3. And now they will want to try to steal a point in this end. Score without last stone. And a rare miss from Marcel there. But still guards out front, that's important. If Switzerland are going to steal a point, if they're going to score without last stone, their best chance of doing so is to have a stone nice and close to the centre, behind some nice Swiss guards. Swiss guards, of course, very famously an excellent kind. Korea trying to get there first, but that's not going to make it. That's going to come up short. And big chance now for Switzerland to put some pressure on this Korean team. We know that Korea really strong at doing the simple things well, and to be honest, that wins you an awful lot of games if you just do the simple things well, keep things tidy. One of my very favourite teams, the men's Italian team, skipped by Joel Retornaz. They win an awful lot of games by just not really getting in a mess. They just keep it tidy. They do the simple things nicely. So nothing wrong with that. But this seventh end, we're going to see stones in play here. The more complicated the end, the better for Switzerland. Now, has Laurent got this around the guard? Oh, he hasn't. But again, he had good weight. And that yellow has found a decent spot. It's right in the middle. Still space to go around that guard, or can punch it forward. And Korea now really want to get to the centre before Switzerland. sensing the danger. If Switzerland can get a stone in behind all those nice yellows,
그렇다고 너무 약하면 안 돼.
it will be very difficult for Korea to score more than, well, it will be difficult for Korea to score at all in the 7th end. Korea sensing that danger and trying to go for the centre before Swiss. Oh, everyone running out of gas a bit. There's maybe some tired arms out there. As we said, the wheelchair curlers, all their power coming from upper body only.
Entre les jaunes ou entre les bleus?
And obviously, if you're a wheelchair user, your upper body
Ça va aussi, hein?
will tend to be stronger than a non-wheelie user. But still, all your power having to come from upper body, and yeah, maybe
Non, plutôt entre les bleus.
some tired muscles out there. We have 2 games every day. We had 2 rounds yesterday. This is our first round today. We have another round today at 2 o'clock. And then we have
C'est quoi le plus simple pour toi?
final 2 rounds tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning and 12:30 all European time.
Okay.
And do join us for the round at 12:30. We shall have a Scottish pipe band to bring the teams onto the ice.
Milieu du blanc.
Curling, of course, originating in Scotland. From time to time, they will dredge up a curling stone from the 14th century in the Lake of Monteith and things like this. And still a lot of Scottish tradition in curling, including the appearance of a pipe band. So do join us for the final round at 12:30 tomorrow.
Trop vite, hein.
The 7th end in our featured game has become a bit of a race to the middle now. Loads of guards out front, and you can imagine whoever can find that little path to the middle is going to be looking very nice. And oh, so close from Laurent. Again, really nice weight. He was ever so close to sneaking it through that space. And unfortunately, he's opened up that space a little bit for Korea. But definitely still options for Switzerland. They have yellows out front that they can punch back.
Pas mis la place, mais effectivement, wické sur la bleue. Mais qui wick pas bien.
And don't forget Korea, from the second stone, they've had that blue counter on the left of our screen from the
Pas mal, ça.
really superb steady play of Hai Jin Baek.
La vitesse était pas mal, hein. Mais la vitesse était pas mal, hein. Si je passais tapais pas la jaune, je pense que j'étais bon. Je pense que j'étais pas mal, hein.
Everyone then racing to the centre. Who can get there first?
Ah, il touche.
Oh,
Ok.
still not quite finding the gap. Goodness me, the Great Wall of curling stones out front is looking ever more intimidating.
Bien. Bleu, 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 jaune.
And not so nice for yellow now, huh?
Jaune, bleu, jaune.
That blue just redirecting into quite a helpful place if you're Korea.
걸리네 근데 손에도 30초 들어.
Envie de le voir, honnêtement.
Now what?
썼어야 되는 안쪽인가? 보이는 룸만
Switzerland calling for timeout. I must admit, viewer, I'm not quite sure how that works here because we have an overall clock for the games at, say, Worlds or European or Pacifics. The individual game is timed and you can call a timeout. You can stop your clock and your coach can come down for a 1-minute interaction.
Bleu, bleu.
But that takes a lot of volunteers. That's typically why you don't have each individual game being timed at this level. So I fancy a timeout. Doesn't stop the overall clock, but there on the left of your screen, you can see Stefan Fischer on his way. He's the national coach for the Switzerland team. And I think this is a very sensible time to call him.
Double.
to say, okay, yeah, we have the Great Wall of curling stones. What to do? Let's listen in.
Ja, alles ist schwierig. Gelbe Winkel ist nicht gut. Ich denke, geht hier. Auf die. Ja, aber wie kommt. Na. Aha.
Und wenn die gar nicht gut kommt, wir können das wegnehmen, liegen mit 2.
Aha. Okay.
Oder wir können hier Double probieren, aber es ist kein Stein im Haus.
Ja. Okay.
Also ich könnte hier öffnen,
Ja.
und nachher vielleicht Shop wegnehmen. Oder ich probiere da drüben etwas, aber ich sehe auch keine Winkel.
Ja.
Die ist gelb.
Ja, gelb,
Ja.
gelb, blau, gelb. Ja,
Was? Gelb.
gelb.
Was nicht kommt,
Gelb,
das ist
gelb.
so,
Tu as deux options, gelb, gelb, blau, gelb, 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 blau.
ja,
Das ist
gelb,
nicht schlecht.
gelb
Ah,
vielleicht auch öffnen für nachher noch.
okay, wir versuchen das.
Ja, probieren.
So,
So, ja.
okay. Mit 9.
Nein, ja. Ja, 9,5. Danke. Ja. Ja.
Ja. Ja. Okay. Okay.
Essaye. Tu as deux options,
Ouais.
on sait jamais.
So, coach interaction concluded. You heard a lot of, well, you would, first of all, you would hear a mixture of German language and French language. Swiss people are typically very talented when it comes to languages, but Trix and Marcel, they are native Swiss German. Eric and Laurent, they are native French speakers. So you will hear a mixture of both, but yeah, Swiss people, German and French. You learn all of these things in school, so a Swiss person is perfectly comfortable in typically 3 or 4 languages. But you heard a lot of discussion of, okay, yellow onto blue onto yellow, or yellow onto blue. I'm not sure what the final decision was, but let's see what Eric can do here. Yellow onto yellow. Oh, look at that! Wow! Heavens above. Well, if the curling gods were ignoring this game for the first half, they have taken a keen interest in the second half, and what a shot from Eric again. Their tails are really up, the Swiss, and just as we said, whoever gets to that centre first of all is going to be looking pretty happy with the Great Wall of curling stones in front of them. And I think that is exactly what the team were discussing with coach Stefan Pfister. Yellow onto yellow and ping it straight in there. Superb shot from Switzerland. Gosh, Korea must be wondering what on earth's happening in this game. They need a real nice shot here to give themselves a chance to get out of trouble. Ideal would be blue onto yellow, but plan B would be to make sure we open a space. Korean fourth thrower Seong Nam-go also had a nice strong game, but Switzerland have been putting much more pressure on his throws. Oh, well, gosh, I would have felt a little bit hard done by if that blue had spun into shot position there. And first things first for Korea, they have opened up space. And it is up to Eric de Corvée to close that space now. Put as much pressure as he can on last throw for Korea. We have 2 stones to come in what has all of a sudden become an incredibly exciting game. It looked like Korea were cruising a little bit there. Not anymore. So can Eric Decorvé? He wants to just block this path. He wants to make sure there's no direct path for Korea to get to that lovely yellow that he bumped into play. But this could do with stopping. This could do with stopping. Oh, Eric, that was maybe a rush of blood to the head there.
범퍼.
Let's see if they get away with it. You can see
범퍼로 해야지.
not easy to
맞을 부위가 정타.
get to that yellow on the anti-clockwise handle, so from right to left as we're looking. If you do it that way, that yellow might just pop straight back onto the blue. And indeed, Korea realising that, don't think that line is going to help us. I think their best bet is to drive the blue up front. Korea also calling a timeout. As we said, it's a communal clock.
뭐가 보인다는 거예요? 이거?
The clock's for everyone, but
이거 보여봐야 게임이잖아.
their coach will come down for interaction here.
이거는 보여도 별론데 우리한테.
잼나야.
The teams do have plenty of time. We still have 28 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time for their coach to come down.
이게 제일 이쁘지 않나요?
And there you can see Korean coach in the background,
Ouais, la dernière,
making
bon,
his way
là,
down to the other end.
sur la nôtre. Parce que le problème, c'est que
여기 뭐 없어요? 봐봐요. 어떻게 나올 길이 없어.
I'm sure we shall hear a lot of discussion again about blues onto yellows onto angles. Let's listen in.
안쪽이 맞으면 되는데 이쪽이
안쪽 못 맞아요.
얘 때문에 안 걸려요?
10, 20밖에 안 돼요.
아니 저기 저 핵으로 저 범퍼까지 나와.
얘 때문에 될까 싶은데.
이걸로 해도 되긴 범퍼로 하면 되긴 되겠고 센터 보고 범퍼 하면은 되긴 될 것 같아.
20밖에 안 보여요.
그래, 그 보이는 게 적다며. 10인가 20이라며. 이것 때문에 그러는데. 이것 때문에 안
센터 거 할
돼요.
거야? 센터 거 해? 센터가 쉬워 보이는데 아닌가?
떨어져야 되는데 네가 못 떨어지면은 그거가
저거 잡아 그러면.
처음에 한 거 잡은 대로.
So coach interaction concluded. My Korean language is much less advanced than my German and French.
이거죠.
But I know we always have strong support for all the teams here.
너무 많은 거 아니야? 어디 맞춰야
And
돼?
I'm sure our Korean fans will appreciate listening in there. This looks then, we're going for yellow onto blue. And we've seen fourth thrower Seong Nam go, we've seen him make a shot exactly like this in the fifth end. Last throw in the seventh end in our featured game. It is Korea who have last stone in the seventh end. He's going for yellow onto blue. Just trying to punch that blue towards the center. Has he got it? Yes. Oh, but not quite enough. A very brave effort from him. But again, some
옐로우가 1점이야?
super play from Switzerland, and they've managed it. They've stolen a point.
아까 저랑 10초 6 나왔어요.
Golly. So after a thrilling sixth end, we've now had a thrilling seventh end. And that was finally a steal of one to Switzerland. So going into the eighth and last end of our featured game here in Club Vetsikon, it is Korea 6, Switzerland 5.
attaque, qui les garde, push. Ok? Quand il y a un problème, drive, tire dans la gueule. Ok? Attaque.
그러니까 엔드까지 생각해서 그런 것 같아.
Well, viewers, we're in for a grandstand finish here. No extra ends, though, in this part of the tournament. In the round robin here, we're playing the Schenko system, and that means that it's your overall score that's important. So every game can affect every other game. It's not simply win or lose. In the Schenko system, you get points for winning a game, and then number of ends, and then number of shots. And that means not only do we play 8 ends every game, no matter what the score is, we do play all 8 ends because every end you can score is valuable. But that also means that it's okay if a game ends in a draw. We won't play an extra end. The game will simply end in a draw, and that will be 1 point for the draw for each team instead of 2 points that you would get for winning the game. It's your overall scorecard that counts, and that's a nice start from lead thrower tricks for Switzerland. Switzerland will want to copy-paste that 7th end, steal one more point, and that would be almost like a victory coming from 6-1 behind. If Switzerland could get the score to 6 each, I'm sure we would see Switzerland almost feeling like they'd won that game, and Korea feeling like they'd almost like they'd lost it, or like they'd left the game out there. This will be the final end, this 8th end. But it's okay if scores are tied after that. But if Switzerland could steal one more point here, if they could get the score to 6 each, if they could get 1 point for tying this game, that could make a huge difference to their competition, and that's nice stuff from Tricks. She'd have wanted that in just a little bit closer to centre, but nothing wrong with where it is. Everything ahead of T is dangerous. That's stones we can use. Everything behind T, not quite so helpful. We are having a really exciting game over here. And let us quickly check what's going on the other games. On sheet 1, it is Curling Club Bern Fribourg. They are leading 6-2 over Curling Club Geneva, both from Switzerland. On sheet 2, close game. It is 4 points each after 6 ends, and it is Team Estonia playing Club Oberwallis from Switzerland. On sheet 4, next to us here, Poland lead Curling Club Wetzikon from Switzerland 9 points to 4. On sheet 5, the top of the table clash between Slovakia and Canada is 5 each after 6 ends. And over on sheet 6, the only other unbeaten team in the competition, Sweden, they are gradually clawing it back, but it is still Team Italy lead Sweden 5 points to 4.
Okay.
Meanwhile, though, while we've been having a look across the sheets, Korea, they got first to the centre this time. And Switzerland just coming up short, trying to follow that Korean stone in. Just coming up a bit short. Will they get another chance? Now, on its own, we might say, oh, that's a really nice shot. But it isn't, though. Look what's happened now. That's just changed the picture a bit.
Ouais, même freeze,
And
c'est bien.
that has potentially made access to both of those blues a bit easier. That blue not finding its way in behind cover and maybe being a little bit more open, giving Marcel the chance to move some things around a bit. That Korean stone slipping on a bit too far, in fact.
아, 노란 거 옆에
Ouais.
또.
Toi, tu viens de poser dessus?
And that's a nice throw from Marcel. Again, it maybe doesn't quite look like it, but he's punched that blue behind tee and he's left a yellow that Switzerland can use out front. And Marcel and Trix, they've done everything they can now in this game. All they can do is support third and fourth thrower. Now Korea overthrew the previous shot. They're trying to block this path now for Switzerland to get to those blues, and this looks better from them.
Mais essaye.
Ouais.
Ça passe, mais c'est chaud.
Alors, attends, la glace, le temps 13,5.
13,5.
Attends, regarde la glace, c'est important.
Plus.
Plus.
Switzerland then have
Vraiment au début du rouge.
Bah, à la limite,
two problems in a way. They need to
ouais,
do something about
Tapez dessus.
comme ça.
at least one of those blues that's currently sitting towards the middle, but they have to get themselves towards the middle as well. So there's a gutsy call from Switzerland. Looks like on pretty much trying to do a direct draw. As you can see, two blues are lying short in second, and actually a third blue just next to Eric's brush there, but I don't think that will come into contention later. I think all the action is going to be focused towards the centre now.
Ah, je sais pas.
But there is space for Laurent. If he can get a perfect stone right in the middle, they will be in great shape. So there's a brave call from Switzerland.
보스한테 달라 그래야지. 이따 받으러 갈 거예요. 약 다 갖고 있다고 받으러 오라 그랬어요. 가기야죠.
Is he around the front card? He is. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Take a bow. Laurent, and you may even hear some applause in the background behind me, of course. A lot of Swiss fans here. Watch this. He makes it around that guard by nothing at all. And look at that little space. In it goes, and that is why, viewer, you typically don't want to play centre guards if you've got last stone. So Korea are now finding that out. You can do, but if your opposition can get one in behind, you're in all sorts of trouble, and that's exactly what has just happened to Korea.
형 맞는 게 정타예요.
So as things stand, Switzerland playing yellow, they have a great shot in behind all the cover up front. Korea finding out that may not have been such a great idea to start putting guards up that early in the game. Or rather that early in this end. So that changes things, moves one of the guards out of the way, but Korea have an awful lot of work to do if they're going to try to access that yellow. Yes, Eric.
파가 있어갖고 때려도 떴을 것 같아.
You want to guard, 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 please. Laurent Knoibul. What a shot from him. He had no room for error with his first throw.
여기 슛아웃이 있겠어요.
It was absolutely perfect, and he could do with another real peachy shot here. You can see what the idea is. They just want to block access to that lovely yellow sitting right on the pin. He's done that beautifully. Look at that. That is a great shot from him.
한 번 더.
나 범퍼 한번 해볼래?
Your job here is done, sir. And hasn't Nohong Knoibel put Team Switzerland in a great position in this 8th end. Look at that. That yellow in the middle of all those stones. That's the one that's currently counting.
Ouais, apparemment la garde est trop large, pas assez large.
Korea then probably regretting throwing centre guards when they have last stone. Although having said that, well, they've just proved me wrong, haven't they?
Good game.
Wow. Let's see that again. Threading that needle. I don't know if I even thought that shot was on. Wow.
Faut que tu passes vraiment.
Korean skip Bong Kwang Nam allowing himself a little smile there. I'm not surprised. Goodness.
One stone.
And Switzerland, they're going to have to do the same thing. They're going to have to thread that same needle, go through that same gap. Right, Eric. The gap is clearly there. Can he thread a stone through? I'm not sure it's going to get past that blue. It's not, but that's fine. He's really opened out that side of the sheet
이거 붙이면 안 되잖아, 상대가.
and given himself a chance with his final throw. And now it will be Korea who wants to try to block access on that clockwise handle.
열 반. 아니야, 열 반은.
조금 안쪽, 플러시 안쪽.
We have 3 stones left to come in this grandstand finale in our featured game here in Curling Club Etsicon. It is Korea who are now trying to block access to that path. I think he's done that pretty nicely. So
Ah, c'est bon, tu fais le double.
1 stone each to come.
Pour faire le double, tu peux pas, il y a la garde.
Là, tu passes à 11.
Là, t'as ton plein, puis là-bas.
T'arrives à la prendre là?
T'arrives à taper là. Oh, mais avec quelle vitesse?
Il y a 12.
Ah, 12, ah ouais.
Tu
Ouais,
fais 12, tu tapes, puis tu remontes.
ouais. Ouais.
This is a real tricky one though.
Ouais, il faut vraiment passer à ça.
Ou 11.
On doit donner assez de
Mais il faut que tu tapes, absolument, il faut que tu
Ouais,
tapes
je
là.
sais, justement. Donc, faut. Ouais.
아예 길목이나 다 막으려면 넓게 보는 것도 괜찮을 것 같아요.
C'est possible, hein.
Ouais.
Mais c'est chaud.
Ouais. Non.
It's possible, but it's a tricky one. Marcel coming up to have a look as well.
Là, jaune, hein. Ah, jetzt direkt, wenn du gehst.
Ah,
Direkt.
c'est mieux là.
direct, c'est pas bon.
C'est
Hein.
mieux là.
열 하나 잡아도 되겠다.
Direct, je pense, t'arrives là, puis tu prends pas
Ouais.
le shot.
더 절로.
Oula.
이거 저 3번? 아니 3번이 아니에요. 2번 돌려 펜스게.
야, 씨, 팔이 없으니까 또 확
또
들어올
돌려서 칠 수도 있고.
Mais tu crois pas que c'est mieux direct,
그리고서 확인.
comme ça, là? Parce que
Tu crois?
en 12, tu es en arrière avec cette pierre. Tu vas,
Ouais,
jamais, tu vas jamais taper là, non, ça joue pas le derrière.
Ok. Direct.
Marcel? Ouais, direct. Fais un dolly direct.
길목도 뭐.
C'est combien? 13,5?
Je pense qu'il faut au moins que je te mette là.
Ouais.
Sounds like
13,5, ouais.
오히려 우리한테 땡길 수도 있는.
Eric thinking that the best idea is to just ignore those two blues entirely behind the tee line and just go for a direct draw.
털이 없으니까 지금 확 떨어져.
He reckons there is enough curl to get in behind that blue just thrown by Korea. I think he's right, actually.
우리가 1번이면
Eric, a very seasoned campaigner. He will not make many mistakes tactically.
던져도 되죠.
And I think he's right. Yeah, we don't need to overcomplicate this. There is space in front of those blues to just do a direct draw.
Sans bouscule.
Je pense qu'on peut même aller à 13. Hein.
하게 되는. 우선
하면 되지 반대로.
Ouais, parce que c'est une ligne sur le côté.
Two stones to come then. Last throw in this game for Switzerland.
13,5.
내렸을 때 방송이었네.
Some spectacular play in this eighth end. Does Switzerland have one last spectacular throw for us here?
한 9 정도로 나왔는데.
된거 아니야?
Needs to get round the guard first.
1번만 아니면
Needs to get round the guard first. He has. Oh, that was running on a little bit.
아닌데.
Has it rolled back in enough
이게 무서운 게 이게 걸릴까 봐.
towards the centre? From the overhead there.
우리가 1번이지?
I don't think it has, and gosh, what a pity, but
우리 1번.
what a finish here in our featured game.
절로 들어가려고.
11,8.
C'est la bleue?
Ah,
C'est la bleue?
12.
bah t'as fait ce que t'as
And a wry smile from Eric
Je pensais que ça marchait, puis ça marche pas.
coming up to the playing end there. He wasn't far off, was he? Some spectacular play in this eighth end. But Korea, yeah, just actually throwing that stone away. They don't need to do anything with this stone.
Ouais, on avait dit
C'était
13.
11,8, ouais.
They do not want to touch the current setup.
Bon, bah, bravo.
And gosh, that was a titanic struggle in the end.
Thank you.
But that will be finally,
Thank you.
after some epic play in the second half of this game, that will finally be a score of 1 blue.
Good game.
Confirmed at the scoreboard at the end there. That's a score of 1 blue. That means Korea finally run out victors, 7 points to 5 over Team Switzerland. But what a game.
Ah, elle est après le 8. J'ai vu
Switzerland will surely take good confidence into their next round. That's at 2 o'clock European. Come back and join us for that. But meanwhile, gosh, what a fight, what a comeback from Switzerland, and some spectacular play from Korea. We wondered how they would
Ok.
play when the pressure was on, and goodness me, they delivered. They'll be delighted with their play, especially in that eighth end, threading that needle to remove that Swiss counter right on the poppy. So congratulations to Korea. They move to 2 wins and a loss. Switzerland stay on 1 win. We will need to see how the other games finish. Then the teams will be ranked 1 to 12 again, based on number of games won, number of ends won, number of points won. So not too bad for Switzerland. 3 ends won and 5 points for their overall score. But congratulations to Korea. They're making good progress now in this tournament. We will need to see who is our featured game at 2 o'clock. It will depend on the other results. But come back and join us at 2 o'clock. It is round 4 in the 15th International Wheelchair Curling Tournament here in Curling Club Betsikon. I'm sure we shall have an exciting game for you this afternoon. Come back and join us at 2 o'clock. Thank you for joining us just now. Bye for now.
Passion, Liebe zum Detail, Innovation, Team Spirit. Große Emotionen und bleibende Momente. Mediarent. Powering events since 1933.
La vie n'offre pas